Hello, this is webhostingrewind.com with another video helping you pick the best web hosting company for your need. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things web hosting related. Also, click the links in the description to learn more about each web hosting company that is discussed on this channel. These links are affiliate links, and I will receive a small commission if you purchase through the links below. Also, if you purchase using the links below, you will receive exclusive bonuses not offered anywhere else. The commissions go to supporting the channel to continue to provide relevant and unbiased information. Hello, this is Web Hosting Rewind, and in this video, I am going to list the 5 best web hosting companies for bloggers. Now, before we get started, I want to help you pick the best web hosting provider for your needs as a blogger. Some things that I like to look at are price, performance, support, features, and flexibility. So when it comes to price, cheaper isn't always better, or cheaper doesn't always equal better, because the less expensive something is, possibly there are some problems in the back end. Maybe the support isn't as good. Maybe there aren't as many features. It might even limit you to the amount of websites that you can launch. After price, what is the rate going to be after the intro price? Now that is critical, because oftentimes web hosting providers will double, even triple their price once the promotional rate ends. After that, how much does it cost to renew your domain? That's another question that you should be asking. Oftentimes you'll see that they offer free domain for the first year. After that, again, the price can go up to $20 or $30 to renew your domain with that company. And then finally, with regard to price, you want to know what's included in the price. So there are a number of web hosting providers that offer something like a 99-cent introductory rate, but that is only one website. Maybe you want to have multiple websites, or you plan on starting multiple websites, and so that can be a limiting factor as well. So after price is performance. So when you think about performance, you want to think about how fast your website is loading. You want to also think about how often their website, or how often the web hosting company drops offline. So at a minimum, each web hosting provider should have a 99.9% uptime. The longer the uptime, the better. If your company, your web hosting provider, is dropping offline, that can mean hundreds if not thousands of dollars for you. With regard to performance, you also want to think about, does your web hosting provider have a CDN, or a network where pieces of your website are stored all over the internet? These are things that you need to think about when it comes to performance. So after performance, we have support. So when you think about support, you want to think, you're thinking about how fast someone responds to you, whether it's via phone, whether it's via chat. Are they actually helpful? How many times do you have to ask the same question over and over again before you get an answer? And then you also want to know how many support tickets you're going to need to submit, because depending on the web hosting provider, you may have to submit multiple support tickets before you can get an answer that you need. So when you're thinking about support, these are all important questions that you want to ask, or things that you should consider when you're thinking about the best web hosting provider. And then after support, we have features. So I mentioned this earlier. Does the web hosting provider have a CDN, or a content delivery network, where pieces of your internet are stored all over the internet, which will help with your load times? It'll make at least the initial portion of your website load faster, and people will be able to start interacting with your website much faster. After CDN, free SSL. Does your web hosting provider offer a free SSL? Google looks at if your website has an SSL. So basically, when I'm talking about SSL, HTTP versus HTTPS. If you do not have HTTPS, your website ranking can suffer. And when it comes to blogging, organic search is the golden goose for your needs. So after features, SSD versus HDD. Now, does your web hosting provider use SSD for storage, or HDD? SSD is going to be faster, it's going to be more reliable, and it's becoming the industry standard. So if your web hosting provider is not at least using SSD in some capacity, I would consider looking at something else. And then finally, one-click installs is a feature. If you are starting off a blog, most likely you are going to use WordPress. Most web hosting providers out there have a one-click install, which will allow you to install WordPress in a matter of 15 or 20 minutes. If your web hosting provider does not have that, you might want to look at something else. And then finally, flexibility. Basically what that means is the ability to upgrade or downgrade your hosting service. Let's say you realize that your blog Ideal is doing very well and you want to upgrade it. How easy do they make it for you to upgrade? Versus maybe you have run into some financial troubles and you want to downgrade. What kind of problems can you run into with downgrading your service? So these are all things that I consider when trying to compile the best web hosting companies for bloggers. So at number 5, I actually have Bluehost. I've done a few reviews on Bluehost and I like them. It's actually what I started with. Bluehost isn't the absolute best. It's actually relatively expensive, and they have a very complimentary level of features for the price. What I recommend in one of my other videos is do not start off with the most basic service, go with a level up, because you get a lot more feature sets with regard to the shared hosting. Their support is okay. Their performance is at or a little bit above the industry standard. They do have the free SSL. Most of the time they're using SSD and the versus the HDD. And they also have the one-click install. And it is pretty flexible, so that is why I believe Bluehost is at number 5. At number 4, we have Cloudways. Now, the reason why I rank Cloudways at number 4 is because you can actually start 100% for free. In addition, they have 24/7 support. They too offer a free SSL. They do not offer a contract, so you're not locked in. You actually have free site migration. A lot of web hosting providers will offer this service. Automated backups, so they have nightly backups where your website is automatically saved to maybe one of their data centers. They also have a CDN, so this is very important. Basically, as I've alluded to a few times before, pieces of your website, and this is an oversimplification, but pieces of your website are stored around the internet, around the world, so that your website loads faster. In addition, they have dedicated firewalls. They also offer managed WordPress, and then they have actually a C performance rating. So not the greatest, but it can be a good place to start. So after Cloudways, we have NameHero. Now, the reason why I like NameHero, and this is one of the web hosting providers that I'm currently using, I'm using a few different ones, but this is one of the ones that I'm currently using. And the reason why I like NameHero is they have a very relatively low introductory level pricing. In addition, they have US data centers, which is always helpful. They have free domain for the first year, but you do have to watch out to see what that domain goes up to after the first year. In addition, they offer unlimited SSD storage, which can be very helpful if you decide to add a ton of blog posts and images over a relatively short period of time. They actually have free auto SSL. It's not something that you have to request. It is automatically added to your website. They have free Lightspeed cache, so this will actually make your website load times even faster, which will actually help you, again, make money. The faster your website can load, the faster you can start making money. And then they also offer unlimited email accounts, subdomains, and databases. Email accounts is something that you do have to watch for. And basically what I mean by email accounts is my email is admin@webhostingrewind.com instead of admin@webhosting.gmail.com. And the reason why you want to have your email address for your domain name or your domain name for your email address is because it looks a little bit more professional than a Gmail account. After the unlimited email accounts, there are nightly backups. It has a 99.9% uptime, which is the industry standard. They do offer 24/7 support. I've talked a little bit about that in my previous videos, where their support previously was very, very good. Now it's only, I would say, a little bit above average. After support, they do offer Cloudflare with Railgun. Again, this will actually help your website load faster. It'll help perform better. The caching, the Cloudflare, and the CDN, storing pieces of your internet all over the internet, will help you make more money. After Cloudflare, they do have an A performance rating. So after Bluehost, we have SiteGround. SiteGround has a very low entry-level pricing. In addition, they offer free SSL, daily backups, a free CDN, free email, and I just want to point out that most of the web hosting providers that appeared on this list offer a free CDN and nightly backup. So that's two things that are very important to me. Anyway, continuing on, free email, WordPress, migrator plugin. So basically they will give you a plugin to add to your website and you can automatically migrate your website from one place to another. A+ performance rating, so it's loading much faster than just about any other web hosting provider. A 100% uptime, which can't be said by any other web hosting provider. Great customer support or customer service, and they have 5 data centers. All right, the final one on this list is WP Engine. Now, WP Engine is a premium web hosting company. Basically what that means is it's a little bit more expensive, and quite honestly, it's probably not for beginners. It's for people that are established bloggers that have a website that's up and running, and they're getting 100,000 page views per month. But they really take care of you over at WP Engine. A+ performance rating, a 99.99% uptime. They have instant live support. They include their CDN or content delivery network, a free and auto SSL, free site migration. They also offer a discount where they're offering 2 months free when you sign up. And finally, they offer managed web hosting. To learn more about this web hosting company or any other web hosting company discussed on this channel, be sure to check out the links in the description. Once again, this is Web Hosting Rewind, helping you pick the best web hosting company for your needs. Also, if you purchase using the links below, you will receive exclusive bonuses not offered anywhere else. The commissions go to supporting the channel to continue to provide relevant and unbiased information. Thank you and have a great night.